Today's video is about how starting my LLC made me a better musician. So back in March of 2021, I was working with a mentor in the music industry who suggested that I start by making an LLC. He suggested this so I could learn a strong foundation in money management as an artist, and so that if in the future I wanted to create an ensemble, I could pay musicians from the business itself, rather than from my personal account. This was important because starting an LLC would mean that my business was a legal separate entity from myself. So how has starting my LLC made me a better musician? First of all, it really shifted my mindset from thinking of myself as a student to thinking of myself as an artist. Now at the time, I had been in college and grad school since 2013, since I'm finishing now the final year of my Doctor of Musical Arts degree. Starting my LLC has made me infinitely more aware of the music business side of things, and I'm learning that those music business skills are sometimes just as important as showing up to the gig on time or prepared. Now before I started my LLC, I was carrying this label of student for a really long time. And throughout that time, from when I started undergrad to now, and even before that, I was playing professional gigs. I've played professional gigs as an associate artist with the brass ensemble, I've done recording sessions in the US and in South Korea, and I've also won prize money from an international solo competition. During all of this time, I've made income as an artist, but I wasn't necessarily thinking of it as contributing to my business, which is my own music. Instead, I was thinking of it as rent money, food money, basically everything but business account money. When I started my LLC, I opened up a bank account for my company. And in doing so, the money that I was getting from these gigs now was going to that bank account rather than my personal checking or savings account. Once I started having money in my account, I also started to think of expenses very differently. Instead of driving to a gig and not thinking about the mileage at all, now I'll use an app to track that mileage so that I can write it off when tax time comes. Instead of buying music supplies like sheet music or valve oil from my personal account, now I buy it with my debit card from my bank account connected to my LLC account, and I can keep track of these expenses much easier as well. So last year, after starting my LLC, I also started investing money in my own business. So for me as a musician, that usually means equipment or supplies of some sort. So last year I bought a professional camera so that I can record videos at a high quality of my playing and performances, and so that I can record educational resources at a high quality. And I also bought a professional amp that I can use on the street without power, so I can start busking and making money that way as well. I also purchased a plan to build a website and bought my own custom domain and spent a lot of time and energy into creating my online portfolio. I revisited my resume, my CV, performance videos, whatever you could think of. I edited it down and tried to really put my best foot forward when it came to all the sort of things that I had online that people were available to see at their own leisure. During this time, I also learned how to record from home, as most people did during this pandemic. And in doing so, I also learned how to do some graphic design so that I could promote my first Doctor of Musical Arts recital, which I premiered online. All in all, what I'm trying to say is that by starting my LLC, I fully recognized as soon as I did it that my music is my business. I learned that I should treat my performances, my uploads to social media, and my interactions with people both online and offline in real life are all part of my business and brand as well. Does this mean that I needed an LLC necessarily to do that? No. You can keep financial records of your income and expenses. You can start telling yourself that you're an artist, maybe even writing it on a note card and having it, up on the wall somewhere in front of you so that you start to get into that psyche. You can invest your time and your money and your energy into your music business. Again, all of these things you can do without starting your LLC. But by starting mine, I kicked myself into high gear by starting to think of myself as someone who runs a business, and the business is my own art and my brand as a musician. So that's it for today. That's how starting my LLC has made me a better musician. If you liked today's video, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon.